Hey, buddy. Rah. Hey, man, that's a sweet heavy metal happy hour t-shirt. Where'd you pick that up?
Thanks, dude. I got it at the Toxic Radio shop.
Toxic Radio has a shop?
Yeah, dude. It's in the app or online at toxicradio.net.
That is sweet.
Yeah, and I also got a rockin' Toxic Radio hoodie and a Red Band Underground shirt. Dude, I'm gonna look so rockin' at the party tomorrow.
Well, I think you look pretty now.
Oh, wait, what?
The Toxic Radio shop is a place to get all your Toxic Radio gear. Shirts, hoodies, stickers. Find it at toxicradio.net or on the app. Don't buy it safe. Buy it toxic. Hey, where you going, man? Well, here we are, starting to work our way into this new normal.
Oh, what fresh hell is this?
Actually, it's not so bad. Coming out of our houses, social distancing, wearing masks. Actually, I kind of like that part. I feel like a sexy bandit. Except, sometimes I forget my pants.
What the hell?
The point is, we're all going to get through this. Take care of each other. Be considerate. Wash your hands. And remember, Toxic Radio is here for you. We'll rock you with the music and entertain you with the shows. We'll make it just a little easier to adjust to this weird new world.
I love you guys.
We're not going anywhere, and we appreciate you being along for the ride.
Enjoy your pants.
Oh yeah, you betcha. Remember, play life safe. Play your radio toxic.
Hey, I'm Carla.
I'm Heidi.
And we're the Butcher Babies. Listen to toxicradio.net.
Don't play it safe, play it toxic.
Hey, this is Mike Busey, and when I'm not touching myself, I'm listening to Toxic Radio. Don't play it safe, play it toxic.
Hey, this is Kel Mitchell, and you're listening to Toxic Radio. Uh-oh, it's getting toxic.
Enjoying all that Toxic Radio has to offer? Well, make sure you like and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Be the first to find out about ticket giveaways, amazing guests, awesome contests, and Toxic Radio events. Just search Toxic Radio Live, all one word, and press that little button. Every time you do, someone here at Toxic Radio will get their wings. Yay! Well, not really.
Aww.
But we will get a warm, fuzzy feeling in our tummies. But then again, that just might be the beer. Anyway, like and follow us, and we will see you out there on the interwebs.
Hi, it's Steve Morrison from the President Steve Show, and you're listening to Toxic Radio. Get infected like you would with a cheap hooker.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Taking It Deep with the Godfrey. That's right. You're back. That means you liked it. And so did your mom. Maybe. But we had a hell of a week one as far as football goes, meaning like the action was fun. And we'll be getting to that in the second half of the show with Pat and then Uncle Pat, as we will be doing through the whole NFL season all the way till the end, through the Super Bowl. And before that, we have our regular shenanigans, and I'll sound off on things that I've been thinking about that just, I don't know, suit me, I guess, or whatever, to my liking. Hopefully it is to yours. But if you want to be part of the show, call in at 856-485-9565. You can get at us on the chat on the live feed on YouTube. What's the YouTube address there?
YouTube.com/play it toxic.
Nice.
Because everybody likes to play it toxic, right? I usually play it toxic when I'm in bed by myself.
Ooh, yeah, I believe you. But that being said, Tweedledee. But yeah, you can find the episodes on Taking It Deep with the Godfrey, which is our Facebook page. Give it a like, give it a share. You can catch the live feed on there as well. If you want to listen to the live audio, toxicradio.net. The app is downloadable on Android, and Apple.
And Andrew. If you just know a guy named Andrew, you'll be good.
You could download it onto Andrew. Just plug it right in his ass. Also, all the past episodes, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, podcast for Google Play. They changed the name of it. And, just Google Taking It Deep with Godfrey, and you can find us out there. Subscribe, and sharing is caring. Like I said, you want to call and be part of the show, be my guest. Lots to talk about today, as I've been sharing with you guys. How was everybody's weekend? Wait, it's Thursday. That doesn't even matter. It's been like 4 or 5 days. How's everybody's
wrong with you?
Week been? Your week? How's your week been there, Mike?
The week's been brutal, man. I told you, Toxic Mom is in the hospital right now. She's doing good. Everybody, don't worry. Toxic Mom is doing good. She's getting some things taken care of, but she's chilling. But the hospital she's in is really nice. Not only has COVID died down here in Jersey, so it's kind of a little bit of a easier go out there, but also she's in a hospital where it's like they've changed hospitals now. Like, you get a legit menu that you can order night or day, whatever you want. Hospital food used to really suck. It used to be nothing but Jell-O and like a piece of bread. And now you get an array of like whatever you want, like buffalo chicken or a cheesesteak, or it's ridiculous the options you can get. A cheeseburger made the way you want it. It's very interesting. It's very I'm very shocked, but it also it kind of makes me want to go to the hospital. Like to
get some food,
just to get some good food, like cooked home meals.
How's the Jell-O?
I live by myself. I don't get cooked home meals. How's the Jell-O? The Jell-O's Jell. You might get a roofie. Oh.
That might be the Cosby edition.
That's what I'm saying. Because you might get a roofie.
And 1 out of 100 lucky Jell-O eaters will get a used pudding pop.
Yeah, in their mind.
Never mind. Whoop. 856-485-9565. And whatever. All I know is this, guys. This week, it's been okay for me, but who cares? So you're here to take it deep. We got our cuck of the week, and kind of sports related, but I found it interesting, even if you're not a sports fan. Kansas City Chiefs did allow fans at their game, and I'm not here to rag on that, whether that should be or not. But their season ticket holders got first crack at it. Kansas City Chiefs usually have sellouts in general. They're a pretty loyal fan base. Not like there's a lot going on in Kansas City besides that and barbecue. But, all I got to say is they said, hey, guys, you could come, 17,000 of us, and you're going to have to pay 4 times the ticket value. 4 times.
Now, I was seeing I checked CNN every day, and I believe it was CNN. Was it the Kansas City Chiefs? They showed that one person went away from a football game, and they found out the person had COVID. Now everybody that was sitting around them is quarantined. Is that a real thing? Do you know about this?
I'm not sure. Pull that up on the interwebs there, Mike.
I'm trying to find that now. CNN Sports. Where is sports? Does CNN have a sports section? I know I saw it on there. But I'm going to have to check and see where I found it. But let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, look for that. But these Chiefs fans, I kind of felt like them doing that, as fans. They were immediately nominated for Cuck of the Week because, in my opinion, as you guys have heard me say this before, football is the worst spectator sport. It's the most expensive, and most people pretty much agree on that. I don't even think that's a debate when you think about cost versus in-person experience, dollar per hassle, whatever it may be. So the fans of the Kansas City Chiefs are in a unique position as one of the only groups that can currently plan on attending games in person as the NFL season kicks off in September. This is on ticketnews.com. The defending Super Bowl champions, they have a news site for fucking everything. Ticketnews.com, myass.com, everything has its own news site.
I mean, anybody can get a .com. I mean, you can get my bunghole smells like flowers.com.
I'm going to take your word for that. So the defending Super Bowl champions already have an approved attendance plan for reduced capacity amid coronavirus, but some have issued complaints that they're finding out that the limited number of single-game tickets available are dramatically more expensive than the season ticket prices they would have been able to pay for the year and will pay should they choose to keep them in 2021. Capacity in Kansas City Stadium is limited to approximately 22% of normal, meaning about 16,000 at Arrowhead Stadium. But the team says single game prices were actually set before the decision to reduce capacity had to be made. It's just existing season ticket holders aren't used to paying such exorbitant prices. We understand the response because it's a significant jump. Chiefs president Mark Donovan said he explained the team's rationale on a Zoom call Wednesday. Number one, that's the value of having season ticket plan. You have the benefit of those ticket prices being much below market value, which is true to an extent depending on how well your team's doing. But you're committed to the full season. The single game option gives you the option to pay a little more, in some cases a lot more, because you're buying one game, you're not obligated to pay for the full season. Okay, so
go to look at the screen real fast. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but CNN, this was reported 3 hours ago. Kansas City Chiefs fan who attended a game test positive for COVID-19. A fan who attended the Kansas City Chiefs opening night game at Arrowhead Stadium on September 10th has tested positive for COVID-19. The Kansas City Health Department said the individual that tested positive watched the game from the group's box in the lower level of the stadium, tested positive the following day. The positive test has prompted the Kansas City Health Department to direct 10 people there to quarantine after potential exposure to the coronavirus. The Kansas City Chiefs were one of the few teams in the NFL that allowed fans into the stadium in Week 1.
Yeah, well, once we bring Pat on, we will have him give his opinion on this. But, Ricky Wooders comes to mind for who, for what. 8% of the revenue, and I'm going to see if I'm getting that figure wrong. That seems to be the NFL's take home from fan attendance. And maybe some things are amiss with that number, but here's the thing. I am not coming from an angle of, we got to really be serious about coronavirus, although I believe that. But the angle I'm coming from is if this turns out to be a cluster and it ends up canceling football games, was it really worth it? And I don't know if it really is worth it in general. You know what I mean? Because you're getting a limited number of fans there. You're gouging them. Call it whatever you want. Say you let them know about it. You're gouging them. 100%, and maybe they should be saying, hey, you'll get parking for free, but you're gouging them. There's no other way around it, and they're definitely doing it to Kansas City Chiefs because one, they're Super Bowl champions, and two, it was probably the unveiling of getting their Super Bowl rings, etc. So they knew they'd be doing that at a premium. So,
but isn't that what sports does? Is gouge its fans? Like,
yes, but
it's what they're known for. I mean, I go to a sports game. And I'm dumbfounded by every little thing that costs a super amount.
Football's more extreme, in my opinion, compared to the other sports.
Oh, they're good, but that's because they have the most. I would have to argue
they have the least games too.
No, but not only the least games, they have the most rabid, passionate fans that are going to pay this extreme
let's
price.
Let's just put it this way. I want to give you numbers here. Let's say it was $400. Now it's going to be about $1,000. For that ticket. So that's a lot for a single game ticket. Longtime season ticket holder Randy Lynch told KZTV tickets similar to his season seats for single games are approximately 5 times the price his seats would have cost him. We just decided not to do it this year. You know what? Those dudes, smart. Is the auxiliary up?
Oh. I apologize.
I expect perfection. No. All right. So I want to give Randy a round of applause for not being a cuck. So the cucks of the week are the Kansas City Chiefs organization, not the fans. And guess what? You guys are cucks for that because I understand raising ticket prices because you now are the Super Bowl champs. You just paid out $450 million. But, I mean, come on, guys. You got to really do a better job than this. And I just don't think it's right. And the fan loses out again. And I think... if you're stupid enough to do that, be my guest. But just to go to a football game under regular circumstances, it's too expensive. The NFL is always trying to justify their in-game attendance. I don't understand why people won't come there. I don't understand. I don't know. Why? Because it's too much money. And you got to deal with a lot of jerk-offs there. So a lot of teams don't even come close to selling out. They buy all the tickets and then give it away. I mean, I remember when the Eagles were bad certain years, they had to buy tickets just for it not to get blacked out on the TV. And that rule still exists as far as local TV goes, And to me, if you are trying to, cover up that low attendance, well, you're going to get exposed. So certain cities won't have games. Certain cities didn't have games this weekend. So we'll get more into that. But they are our cuck of the week. So we got some honorable mentions coming up next, and things we research. Right, I wanted to give that an honorable mention. You ever think about things that we research, like why the fuck are we researching that? No, like ketchup.
What do you mean? Like just anything that we research? Like
ketchup, elasticity.
I mean, if you really did do a deep dive into things that we research and things that people get funding for, that's an insane amount of shit you're going to come across.
Scientists discovered 100 million year old sperm.
Yeah, that's the type of shit you will find if you start going deep diving into that.
In amber, a crustacean preserved in amber reveals new insights about giant sperm. This is on ViceNews.com. I swear I'm not making it up. Scientists have discovered the oldest sperm in the fossil record, which dates back nearly 100 million years, inside a crustacean that was preserved in amber from Myanmar. So that's some strong sperm right there. You could probably birth 120 kids just off one single sperm out of that guy. The crustaceous sperm cells double the age of the oldest unequivocal fossil animal sperm, making them by far the oldest sperm of any kind yet identified, according to a study published on Wednesday. So, scientists have found the world's oldest sperm.
That's nice.
What? Yeah. So, I mean, I think people do smuggle some booze in their titties to the games.
Well, that's the joy of being a female is having more, especially a well-endowed, bosomy female, is having extra spots to put things where nobody's really going to pat you down too excessively. We've got pretty much one, our junk, and if we stuff too much down there, it's going to look ridiculous. But girls can stuff enough in their bra, and nobody's going to blink an eye. Well, a couple of guys might blink an eye and blink their third eye.
Whole kitchen sinks,
Yeah, that's pretty much something that women can get away with, and guys just can only dream of.
Well, do you dream of having tits that big?
I have, yes. I mean, is that something that nobody dreams of? Is that a faux pas on my part?
I believe so, yes.
I mean, who doesn't dream about just standing in front of the mirror, just yelling out, "Would you fuck me?" I'd fuck me.
Wow. And wow. So, yeah, guys, weird stuff we research, like, ketchup and things like that. I'm always fascinated about, like, what the fuck? Who funds this? So, it's a pretty long article, so I'm not going to read the whole thing here to you, but, I just can't understand why we had to find that old sperm. They found it by accident. I'm just making this in jest, but, hey, if they found it, good for them. Mission accomplished. Can you imagine the celebration dinner? We found the sperm. We finally did it. Mission accomplished. We've busted our nut. There's so many, Yeah, but check it out. Interesting. 100 million years old, and it was preserved. Wow. So, I mean, technically, you could birth an Encino Man, right? Did you like that movie? Did you like that movie, Mike?
I love that movie, dude. Wheezing the juice. And,
yeah, I know.
Doing all that kind of stuff. And,
do you ever dream secretly at night that you're Pauly Shore?
Dude, come on. Who doesn't dream that they're Pauly Shore? Who doesn't want to be the icon, the man, the Jesus Christ? He was an icon for the 90s. He was the icon of a generation. Come on, who wouldn't want to be Pauly Shore with that hair and the wheeze?
Oh my God!
Come on!
Wow!
Don't ruin my childhood. Don't sit here and try to act like you wouldn't want to wheeze my juice.
You're out. I don't know if I would want to wheeze the juice. I do remember wheezing the juice.
Yeah.
So another honorable mention here: people protesting sports. Who gives a shit? Here's the thing. I see this a lot, and I brought this up last week, but in short, I shared a meme, and it said, David from Ohio has refused to watch the NFL, and they have gone bankrupt. One, I like football. I love football. And I don't care. Everybody knows I'm not a Trump guy. They could have on all pro-Trump hats, and I'd be like, that's great. Whistle blows. I don't even remember that was happening. I can give three shits about that. So I'm not going to let that situation steal the sport from me. And I often am really shocked by people that let that do. Don't let them steal something from you that you enjoy, because once the whistle blows, it's over. Then, so guys, come on. We have to really start getting over ourselves here. But that's just me. Now, so you get an honorable mention, folks, because really what it is a temper tantrum if you think about it, right? I'm not going to watch that anymore. And you're like, but you really want to, and you're going to, but you're saying that because you're hoping that they listen to you and be like, whoa, wait a second. Richard's not going to watch? We have to completely change what our organization is going to do now. He might throw out his Nike Monarchs. No, come on, guys. I mean, if you want to feel you're that special, be my guest. I'm not going to yuck your yums, but at the same time, let's just say, whatever. No one really cares about your feelings when it comes to that, because these organizations, the constant theme is they're going to make the move at the time that they think makes them the most money, right? So 2 years ago, they were all about the other side of this argument, or at least turning a blind head to it, or whatever you want to say. So, and now they reverse course. What was their motivation? Maybe it was their players, maybe it was money, but most of the time it's money, 99.9% of the time. So my point is don't let them shifting the tide on you really steal the sport from you. That's a shame. Whatever it may be, knitting, I don't know, streaking, sports betting, playing sports, Legos, chess, I don't care. You name it. So to me, I just don't, World of Warcraft over there for Mike.
You know what I mean? Horde for life, baby. Loktar Ogar.
Nice. World of Warcraft, baby. That is not a sport. But
I mean,
it might be an
it is an e-sport. People make a lot of money and train very vigorously to go to the championships.
What's more of a sport, bowling or an e-sport?
I would have to say an e-sport is going to
I'm going to have to go with bowling because you have to get up.
E-sport is going to take a whole lot more training, a whole lot more skill set, a whole lot more crunching numbers and prepping yourself. You're going to spend more sleepless nights getting ready for an e-sport than you are for any bowling game.
Yeah. Someone says Goya products are superb. I don't really eat Goya. I wouldn't know.
I'm not a Goya guy, but I mean,
okay.
If you like the Goya,
I'll take
then you walk through your house yelling Goya.
Goya. That got crickets. But all I know is, please, if you want to protest to me in that way, you tell everybody to your heart's content. I don't care. I'm not talking about that. But a lot of times, it's people in mass that really don't say anything and just move away from the product and make people notice. Mm-hmm. I mean, we've seen it happen before. There's certain cars people wouldn't buy anymore, certain products that just were shit, and their product and their reputation overall just took a hit.
Sex toys.
Action Park in New Jersey. By the way, great documentary on HBO Max.
Mm-hmm.
Great documentary. It's really, I've never been there, but I've heard stories about it because I'm from Jersey originally. Really fascinating. Another honorable mention for you guys out there. So,
honorable mentions just keep coming on. I mean,
I know.
This is the show of honorable
mentions. Play that
mentions.
video. So, umpire.
Video. I got you. Give me 1 second. Is there sound to it?
I'm not sure. Hopefully there's not. Hopefully there's not. It's not a porn trick or something like that. We should totally do that to Mike. But it's umpire takes a 99 mile per hour fastball to the face. Now he had a mask on, but Jesus, he's a mush. Maybe he's not. Poor bastard. Oh, do you see that? Look at that. $11-1. Oh, Jesus. Woo! I mean, he thinks that. I mean, that's just bad luck. That's why I'm calling him a mush. The guy swings, he misses. The catcher misses catching the ball, and he gets it right in the face. Kudos for him for getting up. Can't believe it. Jesus.
I like that the ump's being safe and wearing a mask.
Yeah, me too. He's double masked right there, but it still can't save you from a 100 mile per hour beamer fastball. Woo! 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 That's rough. So, cue the music, Mike. Maestro.
Cue what music? That wasn't me that cues that. That's you.
Oh, is it? Well, give me a nice little music bed for the football. DJ
Oh,
it up.
that music. You can't just yell out, cue the music out of nowhere without us talking about this beforehand. How dare you, sir?
You're supposed
How dare you?
I expect perfection here.
Oh, we just started this new thing. You know what? I'm going to take the audience behind the scenes. We just started this last week, and he starts barking orders like, cue the music. We got the new Howard Stern over here.
Yeah.
Fucking radio.
Scott!
Radio diva. Cue the music. You might as well have snapped a couple of times when you said that.
Beneath his stormy surface flowed the warm tide of...
We're going to play this background music while it's going on. That's
right.
Vince wants to know what the fuck's going on out here. We got Uncle Pat coming in. Uncle Pat, welcome to the show.
Am I in?
You're in.
All right.
We're going to the bullpen. We signaled for the pitcher to come out, and he is in. Uncle Pat is in. And lot to talk about as far as football goes. Last week was some unpredictableness, which we predicted that there would be, but we didn't predict the unpredictableness, which means we got some of it wrong. But hey, that is what happens, and the horses do not read the program. So
I love that expression.
Yeah, got that from Pat.
And that's
And
not
he
why
probably-
I love it. I loved it well when I heard it. That wasn't mine originally.
So if I'm counting things up here, Pat, I scored 7 games correctly, and you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, edging me out. Pat got 8 this week. I got 7.
You need to have at least 8 to have our listeners breaking even.
Well, it's the first week, and remember, you don't have to bet every game because, listen, I don't want you to
Hey,
rely.
what if they just take all our losers?
They could do that, but I'm going to teach you guys kind of how to make your own decision because that way you own it. But if you have to ask me for my advice and you take it, that means you sucked anyway, so therefore you wouldn't have got it right.
That's rotten.
It's not rotten because everybody likes to be a Monday morning quarterback. I knew they were going to make that call. Well, guess what? We don't play that game here. You make that prediction and you put it on the chat before the week, and if you do that, then you'll be able to claim that. But I don't want to hear like, oh, I knew the Cowboys were going to lose. I knew this. Because we did say that that Sunday night game was a gift, and it was a gift. So I won money on that. And guess what, folks? You could have too. You just got to check it. And sometimes you guys might agree with me. We're not going to get them all right here. If someone gets them all right, then they're
cheating.
Or they're Biff from Back to the Future, and they flew the fucking back and got that book, that almanac with all those goddamn sports things in it.
Yeah, you got to stay off the radar with that book, and you got to win by a little bit, but a lot of times.
Secret. I don't know if you guys know this, but I actually am currently trying to create a time machine so I can do that myself.
Is that what you would do with the time machine, you wasteful prick?
Yeah, get a sports betting book and have all the results.
You're a dumb fuck.
Not kill Hitler.
Well, I don't want to know what it could have done. I mean, maybe I could take him out. I mean, if I have the ability to do everything possible under the sun, yeah, I'd take him out on the way to picking up the sports book.
Fuck the sports book. Too much work. Drop back a couple hundred years. You pick up one of those bearer bonds for $1,000, and you'll have a gazillion dollars today. Why go through all the work?
IBM?
No, that wasn't a gazillion year. I'm talking about
Why can't we do both?
You could do whatever you want.
Or I can just give Bill Gates sweet chin music and steal the DOS system right out of his garage.
But you don't want to go ahead and get a fucking sports thing. It's way too much work.
If a time machine was possible, it would create so many
Thank
fucking
you.
problems. Can you imagine how many problems that would create?
Yeah.
You'd be disappearing. You'd be like, why did I just disappear off Earth? Like, remember Back to the Future, his brother and sister disappear?
Yeah.
I often think about that when I feel like, oh, that friend's disappeared in my life, and then like half their body's in the picture. But, I'm just saying.
I got you.
Yeah. So.
What were you smoking on the way?
On the way? What, today in general?
Yeah, because that's a little weird.
Maybe.
So, have you ever been in a DeLorean?
Fuck no.
I have once at the dealership. Somebody came in one. We traded it.
Oh, all right. So how was it comfortable?
Worst car I was ever in. You're about 2 inches off the ground, and I'm a chubber, so getting in wasn't much of a problem because you just fall in.
What you mean is they didn't design a car for you?
Oh, no way.
Were
You got to be Michael J. Fox in order to hop in and out of that.
Pretty small guy.
Yeah.
Pretty small guy. So last week we both.
But the guy that traded it was a chubber.
Yeah. Well, I'm not surprised by that either.
It's a true story.
Not surprised by that either. Usually a chubber I guess that could be someone that's hefty. A chubber can usually be an erection, but it could be either or. So
I sold a car to a guy once that was an inch over the size of a midget, and it was the biggest Hummer you can buy, the largest, and he was a realtor in New York City. So you got somebody 4'11" driving the biggest automobile that's created in New York City, which is I couldn't understand it.
You should have sold him a lift kit for $12,000.
Oh man, it was just the funniest thing. But go ahead, let's get back to sports.
Should have put a note in the glove compartment that said 1 blowjob guaranteed for this purchase.
Not by me.
Not by you. A chubber. Yeah, Yankees do stink. So,
Yankees are better than the Phillies.
Someone said you won't say my name and make me more famous. I don't know if they really expect fame by me, someone saying the name on the show, but they're definitely overestimating my power. That being said...
And who's that?
Oh, it's some chubber. But listen, we both incorrectly opened up the NFL season, which is never a good omen, but hey, it does happen. I picked the spread, and Pat picked the money line.
Both wrong.
Both wrong. So we started out 0-0.
My pick of the week was wrong too. I thought it was the Eagles.
Yeah, a lot of people were wrong. I went under on that, but it went over by slight. It went to 44. It was 43.5. So every play matters. But yeah, we're not going to go through every game because you guys saw them. But I was 7 out of 16. Pat was 8 out of 16. So not bad. We've had better weeks than that, but we will have our ups and downs. We'll give you our lock of the week. We'll try to give you a parlay of the week this week. And
parlays can be done at halftime and the end of the game. So let's say, for instance, you really feel strongly about, as you spoke with earlier, about a game that's going to just go over. And you can bet it with 2 bets. One, you could bet the over at halftime. You could bet the over at the end of the game before the game starts, and that can be your parlay. When it comes to a parlay, you can hook up any 2 things you want. But that's kind of interesting.
Yeah. By the way, the Monday night game was interesting too, by the way. Bring that up before you get to the next game. You had the Giants versus the Steelers. Now, I'm bringing that game up because there's a lot of panic in Week 1. We call it Overreaction Monday. But Week 1's really a lot as far as fantasy football goes. Connor got hurt. They had a lot of people hurt on their line. He's going to be fine for your fantasy football team, and so will Saquon Barkley. They just need to iron out their run design. And
football shape.
Yeah, well, they were pulling the guards, and they shouldn't have been for Saquon against the Steelers, and they were crushing them. So that's just the way it has to go. But we'll talk about the Birds game real quick, and then we will move into next week's game because a lot of our listeners like the Birds here. Everybody wants to throw Carson off the bridge. He played like crap in the second half. I watched that whole game, play to play a couple times. And it looked like a different team in his second half. So it looks like to me the Redskins made an adjustment. Carson made some bad throws. His receivers aren't veteran receivers. They don't come back to the ball. Still, bad throw. Couple bad interceptions. I looked at the offensive line. They were getting beat constantly up the middle, sacked 8 times. And I heard a stat on the radio today. In 18 and 19, all the teams that have had 8 sacks or more on their quarterback are all 0-5.
Okay.
And when your quarterback gets sacked a lot, you're going to be 0-5. There's the blame to go all the way around on that team. But let's not overreact.
Did he fumble?
Do we think the Redskins are going to win?
Did he fumble on any of those 8 sacks?
There was a couple fumbles, but the one he fumbled on was a blown coverage. The guy blindsided him, hit the ball out.
All right. Well, that's my biggest fear when it comes to Carson Wentz behind center, is his fumble ability.
There was miscommunication on blocking that was going on. Not to get too technical for you non-football geeks out there, but the rush showed in a lot of teams this year.
Timing,
yeah. Timing has a lot to do with it.
All to do with it.
Do you think the Redskins are going to win this division?
That's fucking early, isn't it?
It is.
But you know something?
They are in first place. Everybody's 0-1 in the NFC East, and the Redskins are alone at 1-0.
They were down 17 points. They came back to win decidedly. Whatever change Ron Rivera made, whatever it was, they came out believing. You don't come out and come back like that without believing. So they believe they can win this division and he's got them hyped up. I don't think so. I mean, that's going to work for a few weeks, and then everything's going to, just kind of balance out. But I think they're going to have obviously from their first week, looks like, and their second half of their first week. I think that second half of their first week goes completely through to this week.
And the Eagles defense got tired because there was a lot of 3 and outs by that offense. Some people are gonna have to step up on this offense, and like I said on the game tape, there's a lot of missed assignments, blocking, and there are throws that Carson should have made that he didn't make. So it's early in the season. This is really preseason, folks, and it was looking that way. I did tell you guys that the Washington defense is better than people think it is. That young pass rusher they got in the draft, Chase Young, had an exceptional day against the Eagles. So you got to give them where credit's due, but they won't be winning the division. So now let's get back to reality of week 2. And we do have we have a game coming up tonight. And this game, you might think it's a toilet bowl game. You might not think it's a toilet bowl game. I'm not sure. But if I were you,
I'd watch some of it. It could be very interesting. I mean, it's the Battle of Ohio.
It's true.
You have two teams that are still fighting to be recognized as a good team.
Well, it is the toilet bowl game. That's the toilet bowl game.
Oh, are you done?
Yeah,
Jesus.
I mean, now.
So it's being played.
It's not really the toilet bowl game, but I just wanted to play that. But it is being played in Cleveland.
Yeah.
And the total is 44.5. It opened up at 46.
And it was as low as 43.5 earlier today.
Yeah, and it's -7.5. Now it's -6. Browns open up -7.5 in Cleveland.
So people are betting on Cincinnati and appears to be slightly on the under.
Yeah. I liked it at 43 earlier. 44.5 is really.
I like Cincinnati here. I mean, both teams still vying for respect, and I think Burrow played a good game last week. Although they lost because of the missed kick. No big deal, and they might need a new kicker. But the kid looked confident. Cleveland is still a mishmash to me until they start showing me something.
I'm going with the over on this at 44.5. I still think that's low, and that's my lock of the week. Is this game tonight? 44.5 over.
Are you writing these things down? Or should I?
You can if you want. You got your sheet here from last week.
Yeah, but there's no room left on the sheet, dude.
We will reference the video as you guys can do if you need to reference your picks. Now remember, if we give you these picks and the line moves, you're going to have to make a decision whether you're still in or you're still out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because we're just basing it off of tonight's numbers.
Someone could get injured, something like that. So when we give you these bets, we're telling you to take these bets. If you want to bet on it, you don't have to bet every game. Remember that. Don't be an addict and don't chase when you lose. You can take that bet at that point spread we're giving you. But
if you want me to give advice right now, gambling, when it comes to gambling, your wins and losses come in your discipline. When you're winning, press the bet. A streak is known as two in a row, whether it's wins or losses. So if you win 2 in a row, know you're on a streak, press the bet. If you lose 2 in a row, listen carefully. Cut your bet in half. If you lose again, cut your bet in half again.
Or just take a night off.
No, just keep cutting your cut. If you're a $100 bettor and you lose 2 in a row, you're down 200. You bet 50. Now you're down 250. You bet 25 the next game. Now you're down 275 instead of 400.
Bankroll management is important. Don't gamble if you don't have it, or don't gamble too much.
But the thing is, when you start winning, that's when you increase your bet. The cutting your losses and maximizing your gains over the course of a season will be the difference in the money in your pocket at the end of the season.
Nice. So,
with the same amount of wins and losses.
Solid advice there. Solid advice. So, the Eagles game is next on the docket, but we're going to make you wait for that. So, we're going to come back. We got some games, and we got the Broncos versus the Steelers.
So, tonight I have Cincinnati, and you have the over.
Yes.
Okay.
Broncos versus the Steelers. In Pittsburgh, the Broncos are underdogs. Now, Pat, this started out by the Steelers being favored by 4.5. Now they're favored by 7.5. And it opened up at 43. Now it's at 40.5. There's some injuries in this game that could definitely be contributing to that for sure.
That half point's a bit of a bitch. I mean, that's a lot of money going on Pittsburgh.
Fuck you, isn't it?
It's a fuck you. But
I mean, that's why I'll buy half a point if I really want a parlay or something. But
when you go 3 points higher on a -4.5, that's significant money being bet on Pittsburgh. Let's look at the under.
I mean, yeah.
So it's also going under significantly at this point. It's also by a.
Well, James Conner
point
practiced in
conversion.
full today, so he won't be injured. Cortland Sutton is the number 1 receiver for the Denver Broncos, and he's questionable. It sounds like he's trending toward playing, but the Pittsburgh defense at home, and Big Ben plays a lot better at home because he's not busy out chasing ass on an away trip. He's always been notoriously bad on the road because he likes to party hardy. Maybe he changed this year after having Tommy John, but if you look at the number,
about 38 now,
36, I think. Still a good quarterback.
You think so?
I think so, yeah. When I'm looking at the older quarterbacks in the league, even though he's coming off Tommy John, Phillip Rivers really doesn't have an arm anymore. He has to be captain check down. And really, Drew Brees doesn't have a deep ball anymore, or Tom Brady. But Big Ben still can sling it down the field if he has to. So I do think, if he is, he's good as long as he's healthy. And this offense is going to eat. So they got a good D, but that's a 3-point swing, Pat, is a lot.
It is. It's a lot of money going in one particular direction.
Right. Everybody's like, plus 287, the Broncos. Broncos have a decent D, but they lost a cornerback. They're on the road, younger quarterback. The under is 40.5. Isn't that? That's a low score.
The school of thought when it comes to that is to take the I would in this case take Denver because you're getting 3 points that's not assessed from them playing it as virtually 50,000 times. At 50,000 times they matched heads. It came up at 4.5. So the extra 3 points is because of the betting. So you're getting an extra 3 points with Denver that they shouldn't be getting.
Going down 2.5 points here. All right. I mean, they opened up the total at 43 and they dropped it 40.5. It's a lot of movement, I think.
Yeah. So the bet there would be the over, as a result of getting an extra 2.5 points towards the total for you to be a winner.
Yeah, I'm going with the over on this game. Who are you going with that?
I'm going with Denver.
Denver, okay, getting plus 7.5.
Yeah.
All right, next up we got Falcons-Cowboys. 1 p.m. should be a good matchup, both decent offenses. Cowboys are... this is interesting, too. A lot of line movement this week.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, the total is 53.5. Open up at 50. No major injuries on either team.
Wow.
The Cowboys were -7. Now they're -4.5 on the road. The Falcons are. I'm going to have to go with the Cowboys to win this. I think the Cowboys are going to rebound at home. And I think they'll play well. The question is, do I want the Cowboys with the points or the over? I mean, it went up to 3.5 points.
I see that.
Where are you going with that?
Why don't you just ask me what's in my hand? I got a pair of 2s and a 3 high.
Okay.
What do I like here?
You're a river rat.
I am looking at I mean, the over looks like it should be, but I really ain't tasting having to give that extra 3.5 points. Oh, go fuck yourself.
That is, it's a tough one. That's what I was waiting on.
I'm going to go with Atlanta. I still don't think Dallas I still think they're chokers, like the Eagles. I think Dallas is still a choker, and as a result of that, I don't think Atlanta's going to win. I think Dallas is going to lose.
Well, this is a must-win for the Atlanta Falcons coach. It's only the second week, but he's going to be on the hot seat if he starts out slow again like last year. They ended up surprisingly keeping him because he finished. I think his players went to bat for him, but they really have no defense at all.
Yeah, and Dallas got such a strong fucking offense. This is a very difficult decision.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Cowboys, and I'm going to take the points here at 4.5.
I'm doing the same thing, actually. Yeah. I'm going to take Dallas in the 4 and give up the 4.5.
Yeah. The 53.5, I think, can be attained, but it's just a 3.5 point swing. That's tough, man.
It is. And you really got to keep the pedal on the metal the whole game. You really can't have a quarter where both teams go to sleep on a total.
Yeah, and now you got the 49ers at New York. The New York Jets in MetLife Stadium. The 49ers are traveling across the East Coast, and they're favored by 6.5. What does that tell you about the state of the Jets? It's bad.
I don't know. I mean, Darnold played well.
No, he did not play well last week. He was.
You think?
Yeah, I don't think so. But I mean, the score didn't indicate that it wasn't as close as it looked based off their matchup with the Bills. Le'Veon Bell is hurt. Went up a whole point, so people are putting money on the 49ers. Obviously,
They are.
The total went from 43.5 to 41.5. Another 2-point movement. Tough one here. I'm gonna go with the 49ers to cover for a touchdown. So
49ers didn't have the best game last week either.
No, they didn't. They didn't. But they'll play better now. They're banged up, though. That's the thing offensively, but so are the Jets. And I just think
Jets blow. They're in the same category as the Browns.
Yeah.
As far as in me to think that they're even, a football team.
I mean, this game, it makes me want to.
Yeah,
the Jets. The Jets. Anytime it's like, who's this team playing? It's the Jets. I'm like, fucking Jets. I wish they would get good so I could be like, oh, okay, that'd be a great game.
I'd have to say San Francisco.
-6.5, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. Can the Jets even score? I don't know.
Maybe.
They had a broken play that went for a touchdown last week. They scored a little bit on the end over there. Yeah, it's a definite maybe. It's a definite maybe, but I don't know. I mean, I think it's going to be a blowout here. You know what I mean? I see turnovers. I see, it's -6.5. I'm going with the 49ers. I'm sticking there. So, next up, Bills, Dolphins in Miami. Another strong movement on the line. The Bills were only favored by 3.5, and now they're favored by 5.5. The under now is 41. Buffalo on the road against Miami, who was reeling after losing to New England last week. Ryan Fitzpatrick holding on to that job. He probably will be no matter how bad he plays, because the problem with that is this. Tua, the guy they drafted, is probably not ready because of the way the offseason's been. So, who are you taking here, Pat?
I'm going with Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo seems to be the one to win here for sure. I would, I'm going to go with the under on this. I think the Bills win by 5.5, but I think there's not going to be a lot of scoring. And I don't think Josh Allen passes for 300 yards again, but that's just my opinion. I'm going to go with the under on this one.
Okay.
Vikings, Colts, two teams that I thought would win last week that did not. The Jags, who we said on the show that they probably won't win a game all year, said fuck you and won a game last week. And so we were dead balls on, not accurate with that one. And that just shows you that's why they have to play the games. Most people were probably picking the Colts last week. They're a 3-point favorite here at home, being representative of them being at home against the Vikings, who have a very, very unusually bad defense for a Mike Zimmer coach team. The Colts are favored by 3. I think Frank Reich gets them the rebound, shakes off the rust, and they do pull off a win here, and the Vikings go 0-2.
I'm going with the under.
Going with the under, okay, which is 48.5. I mean, that's a strong under, too. Yeah, I could see that. But
I'm taking the extra 2.5 points. Went from 46 to 48.5.
Don't blame you. The line stayed steady. So -3 Colts, and Pat's taking the under. And we got Lions-Packers. And this one's interesting because it went from 46 to 49.5. And the Packers are favored by 6. That stayed steady, pretty much. Now, the Lions would have won last week if their rookie running back didn't drop a touchdown pass in the end zone at the end of the game.
That's the problem. The guy's still on the team.
Well, he's a first-round pick, second-round pick, so they're going to keep him. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah, but I hear you on that one. The Lions.
I'm going to go with the Lions. That's a conference game. The Lions hate the Packers, and as a result of that hate, I think the Lions are going to keep it close or maybe even win this game.
Man. Last week I said I'm going with the Lions, and I said don't fuck me, and they did.
Well, I had Chicago, so I was glad about that.
Yeah, you definitely had Chicago. The Lions fucked me again. They had an opportunity to win, and every time I bet them, they seem to not win. The Packers.
Did they claw your back while they were fucking you?
They should have. But Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Packers to win this one.
Oh, you're mad at the Lions, even though they're going to win this week. So you're going to be mad at them twice.
I guess so. -6 gonna go with the Packers. That's a lot of points though to move from 46 to 49.5. And I guess people were betting the over there, huh, Pat?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna go with the under at 49.5.
That's a solid bet.
Yeah. That's a lot of line movement, man. I can't remember the last time
Field goal.
I can't remember the last time I've seen that much line movement.
It's a score.
Thing I hate about spreads and not doing money line bets and over unders is every time, if you're a bettor, you're watching the game, you're looking at the total, and every time there's a missed fucking field goal, you're like, that's the difference. You can just feel it in your bones. You're like, that's the fucking difference. That's the touchdown. You could just feel it. You just know. So, speaking of the Bears, we were talking about earlier, Giants-Bears, 1 p.m. CBS. It is a total of 42, started at 43, and the Bears are favored by 5.5, started out at 4.5 in Chicago.
Chicago.
Yeah, I don't like this game. I really don't.
I have to like it to like one.
I think this game has a sneaky over potential, and I'm going with the over at 42. I think both defenses aren't as stout, and I think Saquon Barkley has a field day. I think the Giants get scored on too, and I think that you're going to see that. So I'm going with that one.
Okay.
Jaguars-Titans. Titans coming off a win streak. Now, the over-under is 43, but...
No, it's 44 now.
44? Yeah, you're correct. Didn't see that. Good catch. -11, the Titans open up at. Now they're -8, a 3-point swing.
I like the Titans. I like the Titans in general, but I like the Titans.
-8.
I like those extra 3 points, too.
Yeah, I mean, that's tough because a +11, I probably would have took the Jags, but do they come back down to earth? I don't know, man. This is a weird team to predict. Weird year. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Titans to be -8 here. It's a home game. They did win on the road, which was huge for them in Denver at a place they historically don't do well in Denver. So, I don't know. I have a queasy feeling about that game. So if you're going to ask me what game I probably will want to bet the least this week, it'd probably be that game. And it probably would be it would definitely be that game. Did we talk about Panthers, Buccaneers? I don't think we did.
No, I thought we were just going to go back to that at the end.
Yeah, so we got our picks in for that last one, right, Pat?
We did.
Okay.
I like Tennessee, and you liked the under, I believe.
Yeah. No, I'm going to go with Tennessee on this one. I think they're at home, and I think the Jaguars hype train slows down. I don't want to believe in Uncle Rico quite yet. But, we'll go to the Buccaneers. And this is a perfect rebound spot for them, losing to the Saints. They're favored by 8.5, favored by 9 now. They open up at 8.5. The total went from 48.5 to 47.5 in Tampa Bay.
That's a lot of points for a team that hasn't proved itself yet. I'm going with Carolina.
I'm going with Carolina. I'm going with the Buccaneers to cover the 9 points.
It's a lot of points.
It is a lot of points.
I'm thinking even if they're winning by a couple touchdowns, they may give something up at the end. I mean, that's a lot of points. It wouldn't be my upset of the week, but it's...
Yeah. Well, 47.5 is a lot, too. But...
Agreed.
The Panthers did show some ability on offense. Let's see if they can block, because the Buccaneers can rush the passer. I'm going to go on -9. Buccaneers rebound in a big way here.
Okay.
So that brings us to our last few games as we wrap things up here.
Washington and Arizona.
Yeah, the football team against the Cardinals. Apparently they have a new name coming out, by the way. That's what the rumor is from Daniel Snyder. We'll see if that's true. This spread is held steady at -7. The football team, underdogs, the total's held pretty steady. It's at 46.5.
This might be my game of the week.
Yeah, I mean...
I like Washington with the points, and then I would also say I like Washington in this case with a even-up bet, the money line.
Yeah.
I mean, Washington had an incredible second half. There's no reason for me to believe that's not going to carry over to the first half of the next game.
Traveling across the country, the Cardinals are coming off a big upset win. 46.5 is the over.
I'm excited about Murray also, so that'd be an interesting game.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the under on this.
Okay.
I don't think Washington can score quick enough, and they're going to be, if the Cardinals can score, and I think they absolutely will, the talent they have on offense. I don't know if they can. The Cardinals don't have a great defense, but I don't have a lot of faith in Dwayne Haskins being able to pass that ball, so I'm going to go with the under on this at 46.5.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So we got a couple more games left. We got the Ravens-Texans. Ravens 1-0, Texans 0-1.
Houston needs the game.
They do.
But at the same time, I think Baltimore's much.
Well, listen to this, Pat. The under-over went from opening up at 54 to 50.
That's a big-time under.
I'm like, what?
And people are betting on Baltimore from 5 to 7.
I'm taking the over on this all day. Because here's the thing. Both these quarterbacks are talented. I don't think the Ravens have a shutdown defense.
No.
And the Ravens are going to score too. And I think we're going to be going over 50 points easily.
So you're thinking one of these teams get to 30 and the other one somewhere in the 20s?
Yeah.
Okay, I think your assessment's good. I like Baltimore. I know Houston needs this game, and I know Jackson's an excellent quarterback, but I just see Baltimore being a stronger team, and it could just because I really like Baltimore.
Yep.
So
could be. We'll find out. Chiefs versus the Chargers, tricky one here. -6.5. Now it's open up at -6.5. Chiefs on the road, and now they're a favorite by -8.5. Totals went from 50.5 again. Pat, another drop, going to 47.5. I think a lot of people are definitely betting the under because of the rustiness of the teams. It's a trend that really started to emerge in the last couple of years, and it took the bookmakers a while to catch up, but it looks like they have.
All right, now this is a funny team. Kansas City just likes to play from behind from the playoffs of last year to the first game of this year. If you want to fuck around with this one, bet on the Chargers for the first quarter, and then bet on Kansas City from the second quarter on.
You know what? I know
that's a parlay I would throw out there.
Or
take the Chargers with.
How about plus 305 for the Chargers?
No, fuck no. They're not winning the game, but they're going to be potentially ahead or within the jerk off couple of points that you'll get. You'll probably get. Let's see. You're at 8.5, so you're probably going to get 2.5 points for the first quarter. Kansas City minus 2.5 for the first quarter.
I'm going with the under on this one at 47.5.
Okay. So what am I going with as the total? I got to go with Kansas City.
8.5. Gotcha. Pat, Patriots Seahawks, and this is a Sunday night game. I'm excited to see this game because we got Cam Newton with his new team. We got the Seahawks with Russell Wilson in Seattle. I thought the spread would be more than this, honestly. The Seahawks are favored by 4, open up at 3.5, and the total went from 44 to 45. I think the Seahawks will win this. I just, I
don't see New England losing by more than 4, so I like New England in this game.
Okay. I like the Hawks to cover because they're at home, and, New England has to travel all the way across the country, and they looked good last week, but will they be able to get away with making a conservative rushing attack, which is what they did? Cam Newton's not going to rush the ball 15 times every game, which he did, but I'm going to tell you that he's going to be forced to pass, so we're going to see what his arm could do. Because for them to keep up with the Seahawks, I think they'll definitely have to do that, and I'm taking the Seahawks with the points.
Okay.
Now, we have our Monday night game. The 1-0 Raiders versus the 1-0 Saints.
All right, so they're playing in Vegas.
Yes, the brand new Reliant Stadium, or whatever it's called.
Money's going slightly on New Orleans because it went up from 4.5 to 5.5. People are betting the under because it's dropped 2 points from 50.5 to 40. Was that 48.5 or 49.5?
49.5.
All right,
now.
so that's
open up a 50.5.
So a slight money going on New Orleans to win, and slight money going on the under here. Who do we think is going to actually win the game? I think New Orleans.
Yeah, I think so too. And a lot of people are going to look at. I
think they beat them by double digits.
I think so. That's quite possible, too. And people are going to look at the Raiders last week and be like, oh, my God, they scored a lot of points. Well, Carolina has absolutely no defense at all. So I wasn't surprised by that. I got to say, I think the Saints win this at -5.5, and I'm going to take those points as well. I wouldn't even be afraid to take the under here and parlay both because I think the Saints will score. I just don't think the Raiders are going to score that much. They handle the run pretty well as a team, and that's what I think. So that is that. Pat, what was your lock of the week, just to review?
Washington.
Mine was the over for the Cincinnati Bengals Browns, 44.5. And we'll give
And I also like the money line for Washington.
Okay, money line for Washington. And which was a plus 253.
400.
Yeah.
And I'm down 100 for the season from last week's bet, so let's see how this week is.
Yeah. You know, I don't know if there's any money line bets I really like. I mean, I picked the Packers to win, but, you know, plus 207 is not bad on the Lions.
Now, you can bet a money line where it's a minus. You're just giving up more money in order to win 100.
Plus 173 with the Falcons. That's another one that I would definitely play with. You know, can't go wrong there. However, if you like the Bengals tonight too, plus 212. I don't know.
I do like the Bengals tonight.
Yeah, I think we didn't do the Eagles yet. Whoops.
Okay.
Almost forgot the most important one, or maybe that was on purpose. Eagles are favored by -1. Now they open up favored by 4.5. The total's 44.5, down from 49.
I like the Rams. Sorry, folks.
No apologies needed.
Eagles got to show me something. They had a very poor second half, and I think that can contribute straight into the next game.
I'm going to go with the Eagles just because they seem to have the Rams number no matter who the quarterback is. So
I just hope they have their own number.
Yeah, well, I do too.
I want to see them win. They got to show me something. The second half was just atrocious.
It was. They get Lane Johnson back and Miles Sanders this week. That's some heavy talent back on the field. So I'm going to go with the Eagles here at -1.
And that's why I think they're just going to be an average team through the season, is because when
Quite
somebody
possible.
goes down, there's nobody that steps up and keeps that particular position at bay.
Your average team, though, you could be an average team and win the NFC East this year.
Yeah, well, it still doesn't make for exciting football, though, bro.
Well, yep. I'm just happy to have it, but I agree with you there.
You know, the tallest dwarf.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to parlay for me, take the over with the Bengals tonight. I would take the 49ers to win by 6.5, and I would also take. Where's my total here? That's going to be a sneaky total, and you gotta have some hairy balls to do this year. But go under on the 47.5 of the Chiefs-Chargers game, and that's it pretty much. Thanks for tuning in, folks. I hope we got you ready.
Thanks for having me on.
For the week 2, and as far as fantasy football goes, don't panic. Don't panic. Don't drop your players. Hold on to Michael Thomas and start Emmanuel Sanders. Everything's going to be all right. And this is the Godfrey, not saying goodbye, just saying take it deep.
Have a great week.